call the meeting of the Bay County Board of Commissioners to order Tuesday, October 17th, 2023 in the Commission chambers. Roll call, please.
Neiman.
Present.
Benajak.
Present.
Millet.
Here.
Herrick.
Here.
Radke. Here. Hoyer.
Present.
Bigick.
Here. Let's rise for invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Lord, we ask that you grant to this Board of Commissioners and all those in authority the patience and understanding to work together for the good of all people. In your holy name we ask this. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have minutes from 9/19/23 and 10/10/23.
Move to approve.
Okay.
We're good.
Pick one.
Support.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Agenda approval.
Move to approve.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Citizen input. Ask you to step forward to the podium. You can sign if you wish, otherwise at least introduce yourself and give you 5 minutes.
Hello, my name is Tim Voss. I live and work in Bay County. I actually work at the Bay County 911 Center. I felt the need to come forth today with several concerns. I've been a telecommunicator for almost 4 years now, and I just want to say I really love my job and working for and with the community. Although we are very severely understaffed at the moment, and I have fear that the center may be in trouble of continuing to run. I do want to say, since starting my career at 911, I have found this job very rewarding and impactful to our community. I do look forward to coming to work every day. However, with the recent mandatory overtimes, many of us workers are getting burnt out. Several of us have worked hundreds of hours of added overtime this year, with some of us over 1,000 hours already worked this year. I do want to touch on our hiring process. It's not just like any other job where we can hire someone and they start immediately. We do understand that. We do get a lot of applicants. However, after our testing stage, we're left with most likely 50% pass the test. And then with further process, by the time we actually get to starting someone, we may only have 2 to 4 people. And our training process is long and strenuous, as is the job. And on average, only 1 out of every 4 people actually make it through training to become a 911 telecommunicator. So in closing, I do want to reiterate that I do love my job. I love the center, and I do want to see it succeed. I know I can agree with most of the workers there that it's not the job, we all love the job. It's just the added stress of not seeing our families and working so much overtime. I did come here today, hopefully the county and possibly our workers union can open a positive dialogue to try to help the center and continue its success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak at this time? Anyone else wish to speak? Anyone else wish to speak? We'll close public citizen input. Petitions and Communications. We have a presentation by Kyle Weidman from Bay County Medical Care Facility. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are very thankful to be here at the Commissioners meeting. So thank you again for having us. With me today, I do have, from the facility, I have Jackie McCarthy. Well, first of all, I'll do a little introduction for myself for those who may not know me. So my name is Kyle Weidman, and I am the administrator at Bay County Medical Care Facility. And so I have Jackie McCarthy, who is the finance director, and Sarah Griffer, who is the director of nursing. They will give some of their background during their portions of the presentation. A little bit about my background. So I have been at the facility for just over 10 months. I have worked in long-term care and in the senior services industry since 2015. I have a bachelor's and master's in healthcare administration and a certificate in gerontology, which is the study of aging. I became a licensed nursing home administrator in 2017, and serving seniors has always been something that's been very important to me, and having had close relationships with my grandparents, so I'm very thankful to be in the position that I'm in, and I'm very thankful to be serving the seniors at Bay County Medical Care Facility. So let's talk a little bit about the organization. So Bay County Medical Care Facility is a 161-bed facility in Essexville. Our commitment is to provide high-quality, long-term care to residents who are not acute. So acute care, you would be in the hospital, so we are considered subacute care. And we offer skilled nursing and medical services, including specialized rehab and therapeutic services. We were previously licensed for 206 beds, and we'll talk a little bit about that during this presentation as well. So we have a 3-person board that is through the Department of Health and Human Services. The board meets with us on a monthly basis, and we discuss business and clinical operations, and that will be the majority of our presentation here today as well. Our vision is to be recognized as leaders in excellence and to create an exceptional person-centered care environment by promoting individuality and independence for the aging. You can see that our facility is staffed 24/7, and that includes nurses, LPNs, CNAs. We also have physician services and certified infection preventionists, wound care specialists, physical therapists, and occupational therapists as well. These are called our BCMCF promises. So these promises were developed by myself and my department heads. We got together and determined what were some values that we wanted to see practiced throughout the organization on a daily basis. And so we practice these towards ourselves, towards our residents, towards our families, and our visitors. So anyone who comes into our organization should be able to see these promises being practiced. We call them promises since we are making a commitment to practicing them. Our strategic plan. So census, the amount of residents that we have in our building, has been consistently running in the 80s since I started approximately 10 months ago. Our current census for today is 82. You can see that nursing home occupancy in 48 states has been about 80% or less, according to Skilled Nursing News. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, approximately 579 nursing homes have closed, and 21,000 residents have been displaced due to these closures. 21% of nursing homes throughout the country, they are either downsizing, while an additional 24% have either closed a wing, closed a unit, or have closed a floor completely. And that's according to the American Healthcare Association. So Bay County Medical Care Facility, we are taking appropriate steps to remain a premier skilled nursing facility in the Great Lakes Bay region. We recently did downsize, so I mentioned that. We gave 45 beds, licensed skilled nursing beds, back to the state of Michigan. And so we came up with that determination, working very closely with our strategic partners at Plant Moran, to determine what makes sense for our industry. We have not been at full census for many, many years. And so what that's saying is we just need to determine what is next for our organization. So that's looking at new service lines. So what I am currently in conversation with Plant Moran about doing is adding future services such as independent living and or assisted living to our service lines. That attracts a new type of resident to our organization already, and currently what we are able to take in are just skilled nursing residents. We want to be able to offer the full continuum of care to Bay County and their residents for aging services. So, a little bit about our construction update. We resumed the remaining phases of our construction project in September of 2023 with some exciting changes. We are adding more private suites to the facility. So that means any room that needed to be modified that was currently a semi-private room, meaning it could hold 2 residents, we are updating that so now it will be able to hold 1 resident. We find that a lot of residents, when they come there for a short stay, prefer to have a private room, and that will also include having a private bathroom for them as well. That's been very important. We are also updating the remaining wings of the facility, including the nurses station, to be more improved workflow. We have a kitchen renovation that's going to be coming up as well. And then a new service line that's anticipated for 2024, which includes some of the beds that we've given back to the state, is offering on-site hemodialysis for current long-term care and our short-term care guests. We also feel that by adding this service, it's going to be a niche service line in the Bay County area. I'm not aware of any other long-term care providers in our county that are currently offering that, so we'll be ahead of the game on that. It also, by having a service on site, allows us to keep those residents in-house. Currently, our residents who are on dialysis have to go out of the facility at least 3 days a week. They may miss out on some activities or social interactions with their other residents and friends. By having an on-site hemodialysis clinic, they will have dialysis 5 days a week, shorter session times. Their lab levels will stay at a more stable rate. It will allow them to participate in more activities, and it gives them the opportunity to eat some foods that currently they may not have been able to eat just because of being on dialysis 3 days a week where your labs fluctuate. So we're looking forward to having that dialysis clinic in our building. And then employee engagement. This is something that I've been working on over the last 10 months. So we started up a monthly work anniversary board. That's recognizing all the employees on a monthly basis, whether they've been there for 1 year. We have one employee who's been there for 47 years. So we put it up in the facility and have an opportunity for our guests who come in to see some of the longevity of the staff that we have within our building. We have also brought back an employee appreciation luncheon and recognition events. Recently, the department heads, we sponsored an employee appreciation day. The department heads have also been undergoing an employee well-being training, which is sponsored by the Bay Area Community Foundation. What we are learning from those trainings are being passed down and shared with other employees to promote well-being throughout the organization. We also have food trucks that come in on a weekly basis. And one of the things that I'm working towards, moving towards, are having some in-house meals that our staff can buy. We have those going on, and that is being prepared by our dining services team. In terms of marketing, we realize that marketing plays a pivotal role in our skilled nursing world by connecting quality of care with those who need it most. We are looking to educate residents and families about available services, instilling trust, and ensuring that they can make informed decisions for their loved ones' well-being. So you can see that some of our most recent marketing that we've been doing is really ramping up our social media. We have some resident testimonials, some of which are included later on in this presentation. We have some staff testimonials. Our activities team has been doing some wonderful events, including concerts, outings, and then some events even in the downtown Bay City area. And then when we have our construction project close to wrapped up, we will be having an open house for showing off the dialysis clinic and the private rooms that we've added to our organization. We have also been marketing our services to local assisted livings, other senior services organizations, and healthcare providers. So here are some of the events and activities that we've had throughout the organization. Upper left, that was earlier this summer when we celebrated the employee anniversaries. The next picture to the right of that one is the marketing that we did at the downtown summer concerts throughout this last summer. The picture next to that is myself with some of our department heads. When construction was resuming, we were able to go in and knock down part of a wall. That was a great team building activity. We walked in the St. Patty's Day Parade. And then there are a few pictures of the facility as well, including our annual dog parade for the residents. So, next we have Jackie.
Hello, I'm Jackie McCarthy, and I've been with our facility since June of 2021. I've been a CPA for many, many years, decades, and I had a similar position at the Bay County Road Commission for about 5 years in the past also. Enjoying mixing the medical accounting with governmental also. I'm an active participant on our behalf with the Bay Area Community Chamber of Commerce and a member of their Business and Education Partnership too. This page that's showing right now, I thought I'd just give some kind of graphs, pictures of where our finances stand. We have a lengthy financial statement that I'm happy to send you, and it's part of it's available on the county website too. The top left of the page is the statement of net position shows. Actually, we are audited by Raymond, the auditors, the same ones that do the county financial statements also, and we do receive an unqualified, clean opinion. I prepare monthly financials also for our board. So the net position shows our balances as of 12/31/22, our last year that was completed. We are very strong with assets of $64 million, net position of $27.8 million. Our changes of net position or income statement, below that shows our operating revenues were $15 million last year, operating expenses were $14 million, and we had non-operating revenues, which were primarily property tax and then some state grants of about $6.7 million. So it left us with a net position of $7.6 million for 2022. Then the graphs, the revenues, expenses are kind of broken out by the sources that we are receiving them from and our expense categories. Next. Then the left just shows our clean opinion from Raymond, our auditors. And on the right, we're proud of, we had a big project with our budget. For 2024, our budget was approved at the end of September, and it's already been sent on to the county. We had a goal, we asked all the department heads to try to cut at least 10% in expenses, just to help us with our reduction in our revenues based on the lower census that we have. And we're just very pleased. We made changes in personnel, changes in a lot of different expense categories. We were able to project revenues to increase 4.5%, and our expense reduction was reduced by 19% from our 2023 initial budget. So very pleased with that. And then our projected net change in net position is an increase of $3.9 million over what it was last for 2023 initial budget. We monitor our budget very closely on a monthly basis, and I meet quarterly with all of our department heads, and we work on amendments and true things up throughout the year. For 2023, right now, our net position is at $26.4 million. We have $9.6 million in working capital. We recently got a workforce stabilization grant, along with some other facilities like ours in the state. We're able to use some funds for retention, recruitment, and also some training for the next year, which is very helpful. And we'll be able to pay for the completion of our construction project with our available funds and no outside loans needed. Turn it back turn over to Sarah.
This is just sign in. Hi, my name is Sarah Griffer. I am the current Director of Nursing at Bay County Medical Care Facility. I recently stepped into this role in the end of June. I have worked there for 26 years. I have always loved helping our residents in the care that they may need. I love geriatrics. Today I'm just going to touch on a little bit of staffing, recruitment, and acuity. The total number of staff that we have in our facility at this time is 268. Currently, per CMS guidelines, we meet and exceed the staffing requirements in our facility. Our staffing star rating is a 5-star. But in the future, CMS is proposing a staffing mandate which will be very difficult to follow. They are demanding nursing homes hire an additional 100,000 caregivers, which could cost about $6.8 million annually, and healthcare organizations are already struggling to find adequate help. A couple of ways that we are trying to recruit more staff is we are collaborating with local colleges. We have CNA and nursing students that come in to complete a semester of their clinicals. And they have to do that in the geriatric setting and long-term care. So a lot of them choose us to come into. After they graduate, we have nurses that then apply to us because they see how we run things and like our building, and we end up hiring most of them. We do have a graduate nurse program also that we just started. Basically, once they're done with their college and they are done with their semester and their clinicals, they can come in and we hire them as a graduate nurse, and we keep them on until they are done with their NCLEX, and once they pass, then they can come in as an LPN or RN and work for us. In order to meet the needs of our residents, we have to have adequate staffing. The residents that we care for are very clinically complex. We take IVs, hip fractures, morbidly obese residents, other high acuity residents. McLaren Bay, Covenant, and St. Mary's, and in mid-Michigan all confirm that we take the most acute residents compared to other long-term care in our area. And that's all I have. So, thank you.
All right, and then at the end of our presentation here, we have 2 recent testimonials, and these have been shared on social media if you'd like to read them. The one on the left was written by an adult child caregiver for their loved one who is in our facility. And then the one on the right, that woman was just recently in our building for some short-term rehab. Both very positive reviews about coming and their experiences within the facility. So we thank you again for having us. We would welcome any questions that you may have.
Mr. Najak.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kyle, this care facility was a 5-star many years ago. There was a waiting list to get in. When you came in, it was a 2-star rating, correct?
I believe it's around there, and
Okay.
we are currently a 3-star building.
You're a 3-star now within
Yes.
10 months?
Yep.
Okay, good. How many physicians do you have currently employed there?
How many physicians do
Yes.
we have? So in terms of our medical providers that we have a medical director who is contracted. That is Dr. Tazeen Ahmed. He has a physician's assistant that rounds with him.
Okay.
And then we have one more doctor, Dr. Robert Hafford, who is also an attending physician. So between the 3 of them, they are our main medical providers. There are other medical services that we provide, such as psychiatric services. We have Senior Wellness Group of Michigan coming in, and they come in on a regular basis. And Phil is he's an NP who comes in to help service our residents as well.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
That's it.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, I don't have a question, Kyle. I just
Okay.
want to thank you and Jackie and Sarah for the presentation.
Yes.
And say, in the past, I'd had some concerns about management issues out there, particularly during COVID,
Okay.
which I think a lot of nursing homes did. But I do want to say that at one point, the morale was pretty poor
Okay.
among the staff out there. But I think since you've arrived and sort of been taking over as the new director,
Yep.
the morale seems to be much improved from what I'm hearing.
Great. Thank you for sharing
People that
that.
work there and people that have known for
Great.
a long time. So
Yes, thank you.
that's
Yeah.
a relatively short period of time to turn things around.
Yeah, we have a good amount of, we have good employees there, so we want to treat them.
Kyle, what's your current census? We gave up 45 rooms,
Yes.
acute care beds,
Right.
but what's your current census?
Yep, so
You have
our
141 acute beds left.
Yep, so our current bed count that we have is 161. Our census today is 82. So 61 beds out of that 161 are what's in a non-available bed plan. So we are currently operating today as a 100-bed facility. So a non-available bed plan is an option that we have through the state to take beds offline for a brief period of time. That time is 6 months. So I put those beds in a non-available bed plan back in August. So that gives us some time to kind of assess the current situation. And so in early 2024, we'll be able to determine, should we give more beds back and develop potentially a bigger assisted living, if that's the route that we're going to go, or it just helps us right-size our organization to make sure that we're remaining relevant for skilled nursing beds. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kyle. Well, My turn.
Your turn, yeah.
So I had a friend who was out there last November, December, and so I got to see the care, and it was very good, and
Great.
he seemed to enjoy his stay there. Just wondering about the building project, how much more do you have to go on the building?
Yeah, so we are towards the very end of the project. So we would have ideally resumed construction a long time ago when I came on in December. However, I wanted to change the current scope of work. So originally, the plans were not to add any private rooms or the dialysis clinic, but really looking towards the future of the medical care facility. So dialysis is anticipated to open in 2024. We would like to see the project wrap up in 2024, and it should.
Commissioner?
Thank you. I want to piggyback off what Jim said. I've been over there several times inside the building in the last 4 or 5 months, and I've talked to several employees, and the morale has picked up.
Great.
So all three of you, congratulations what you've been doing. People have been very, very happy, and they want to, stay there. They want to keep working there, start moving somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now, one question I have also, I forgot to ask you, is there's a nursing home and then there's a hospital. Are you the one in between because you have to have more staffing per resident?
So medical care facilities are a little different than nursing homes. We are a licensed nursing home in the state's eyes. So we have that license on our building. I'm a licensed nursing home administrator. I have to be licensed in order to run the building. But the acuity that we take compared to other nursing homes is higher. So we do want to look at acuity when we are staffing. So therefore, we may have a few more staff in our building to make sure we are providing appropriate care towards our residents.
Okay, that's what I wanted. Thank you, Kyle.
You're welcome.
Any more questions? Otherwise, a motion to receive the presentation would be in order. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And yes,
you.
like Jim mentioned, if anyone does want to come out and take a tour of the organization, please feel free to contact us and set up a time to do that, okay? So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Next order of business, application for appointment to Bay County Department of Health and Human Services Board to fill a 3-year unexpired term expiring 10/31/26. First of all, we have to receive there were 3 applicants.
Motion to receive.
Support.
All discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, we will make the appointments. So we will do some polling. The clerk will keep track of the teller over there to make sure he gets it right. Do you want to read the names? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So it looks like we left off with Poyer, so Poyer, if you could vote for one.
Schmidt.
Nemec,
Schmidt.
Benajak,
Schmidt?
Alette,
Westfall.
Except that was me.
There's you.
Alette. Wrong voice.
Did a voice
Boy, you're
change?
quick.
I'll do Phillips.
Well,
You have to erase Westfall. Yeah.
Grace Westfall and put Phillips.
You said Phillips. I'm not guessing it was. He didn't have to erase it.
She's not going to get it.
Is it my turn now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, now here.
Westfall.
Westfall. Westfall. Radke,
Westfall.
Bigot.
Schmidt.
It looks like we have 4 votes for Schmidt, 1 for Phillips, 2 for Westfall.
All right, so I would ask for a motion to appoint Jill Schmidt as the appointee.
I'll make that motion to appoint Jill Schmidt as the appointee.
Discussion?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ways and Means, Commissioner Benajak.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution number 2023-178, GPS Gate ABL software. I move to approve this resolution.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-179, service provider agreements and MOU. I move to approve this resolution.
Discussion?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-180, budget increase, child care fund for 2023 and 2024 year. I move to approve this resolution.
Support?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-181, CPLR. I move to approve this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-182, Quality Legal Guardian Ad Litem Grant. I move to approve this resolution.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-183, CASA contract for 2023 to 2024 year. I move to approve this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-184, for year 2024 Federal Visitation Access Grant. I move to approve this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-185, LEDs Online contract for $4,000. I move to approve this resolution.
Support. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-186, 8515 split for healthcare for 2024. I move to approve this resolution.
Support?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-187, contract with Covenant Occupational Health, random drug screening for 2024. I move to approve this resolution.
Support. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-188, Delta College Fitness Center Agreement for 2024. I move to approve this resolution.
Support?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-189, month-to-month extension of elevator agreement. I move to approve this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? Maybe I'll ask Kristen just sort of give us an update on what we're doing a month-to-month.
Sure. Our current contract with our elevator maintenance contractor, the natural end of the contract is actually the last day of this month. And we are in the process of bidding out our new elevators. Our new elevator vendor will, part of that bid is to be the maintenance contractor. The bids open early next month, so we will be going through that process to select our next vendor. And so this just kind of bridges the gap.
Any more questions? We need our elevators. It's a long walk to the 8th floor, so we only have one right now. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-190, Lieber Verti UPS service agreement.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-191, budget stabilization annual review adjustment fund balance fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. I move to approve this resolution.
Support?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-192, payables. I move to approve this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Personnel Human Services, Commissioner Nemec.
Thank you. Resolution number 2023-193, a rider extension agreement for the Stanley Alarm Systems. I move to adopt this resolution.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-194, reclassification of the collective bargaining agreement. I move to adopt this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner Nemec. Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Herrick, you have the honors.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution number 2023-195, 2023 assessments. I move this resolution.
Support?
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-196, the 2023 apportionment. I move this resolution.
Support?
Discussion? All those in favor, yeah, we have discussion. Let's have Keegan come up and give us a little more in-depth on this.
Yeah, just a quick look through the report. Got a presentation here that all right. The Bay County Equalization Department is presenting the 2023 apportionment report for review and approval. This report is a complete summary of the taxable value, millage rates, special assessments levied within each township and city in Bay County. The responsibility of the board is to approve the certification and spread of these millage rates upon the taxable value across the county. So what I wanted to do is just kind of give a little presentation here to go through the different parts of this report and what goes into this report, since it's kind of sort of a duller report, so try to explain it. So this report starts with the what we call the L4028, which is the millage reduction fraction computation form. Basically, this form is completed in May of each year after the submission of the assessment rolls and after they've been finalized. This form calculates the millage reduction fraction for each of the taxing authorities in the county. And the millage reduction fraction is a formula that, so it takes the previous taxable value minus the losses divided by the current taxable value minus the additions times the inflation rate multiplier. And what that basically boils down to is that if a township's tax base has increased more than what the current inflation rate is, then their millage rates are going to be reduced to reduce the tax burden on the citizens, basically. Also, in this slide, on the bottom there is just a small segment of that report. It basically gives you your previous taxable value, your current taxable value, your losses, your additions, and then what the reduction fraction is. And no units received any sort of reduction this year since the inflation rate was so high. All right, so once the L4028 is completed, we share that with all the local taxing jurisdictions, and that way they can use that to complete their L4029s, and this is the tax rate request form. Basically, this form is using that millage reduction fraction to reduce any existing millages that they have, and then they're using it to add any new millages that they'd like to be levied. So they send this report to our office, we audit each report, and then we submit them to the State Tax Commission. And then once all of the 4029s have been audited and received, we compile all the data into this report, the apportionment report, and then we submit that here for approval. And then these next slides just have each page of the apportionment report. I won't go through the individual values or the millage rates, but just give a kind of a brief overview of what is included on each of these. So this first page here lists the taxable value for the county and the millage rates that they are levying, and then all the way on the right-hand side gives the estimated tax dollars that each of these millage rates will generate. And then below that are the townships, cities, and villages with the same information. Then these are all the taxing authorities in the county with their taxable value, millage rates, and their estimated tax revenue. This really hard to read slide here is all of the school districts with the same information. And then this is the community college along with the intermediate school districts. This page is a breakdown of the millage rates by township and then school district. So if anybody wanted to find their property, they could find their township, look up their school district they're in, and then that would give them the millage rate that's going to be applied to their property. And they can use that to get an estimate of what their taxes are going to be for the year. The last page of the report is the special assessments that are collected through a millage rate, and we have none. So. And that's all I have as far as that report. Sorry, it's pretty quick there. So, does anybody have any questions regarding?
It seems so simple.
Okay, perfect.
He's doing
But
a
you have
great
to be a
job.
level, what, you're level 4, are you, assessor?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and that's been an issue getting people at that level.
Yeah.
Appreciate having you.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate being here, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
We have a motion on the floor to receive the report.
Support?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Point of order, Mr. Chair?
Oh, yes, we did it right, didn't we? We had a motion before, didn't we?
We did have a motion. Tom?
Sorry, take back the last motion. So we were in discussion there. So we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-197, legislation preempting local control for solar and wind developments. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion. I'll discuss it a bit. We just amended it. We added, all local control being taken away because there's other things they're looking at, sewer and some of the other things that are out there. So it's a slippery slope, we believe. And I don't know if they voted on it today or not, but it's supposed to go to committee. I know Commissioner Mimic was there last week.
I think they're going to be voting tomorrow and to take it away from local control. So, and sand and gravel are not included in that, but that could be next.
Yeah. So Michigan Association of Counties has been opposing it. In
Yeah.
fact, I just had a seminar on it today. They just had a session on it. So.
Right. And so many townships and counties are, because, for the state to take it over, just, yeah.
Any more? Commissioner?
If this goes through, which I hope it doesn't, the governor appoints a 3-person board, and they can do whatever they want, even though they don't know what area we live in there. We're giving up our local ordinances, local zoning, our control. I mean, I'm not in favor of this, because that's just a stepping stone. What's going to happen next? Our septics, gravels,
Yeah.
because a 3-person board doesn't know where we live, what our places are like.
They have an amendment for those that have something in place already, and I heard there were 20 counties that have something in place for this. But if you don't, then you're up. It's up to the state.
Yeah, but they said that if the state takes control, those are exempt.
Yeah.
So they'll no longer be in existence.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-198, the pool feasibility study and bid award notification. I move this resolution.
Support?
Discussion.
I have a question.
Sure.
Kristen, do you want to give an update on the actual study? What was in that, or?
So we went out to bid for a pool feasibility study, which includes a public input survey, a needs assessment. Based on that information, they're going to do 3 design concepts with cost estimates. So what we'll have at the end is basically all the information we're going to need to make a decision going forward. This is obviously the bid award, so we opened the bids, we reviewed those and selected the bidder. There was only one bidder, but it was great, and so we'd be going forward. The study, once the contract is signed, will then start, right? So it hasn't started yet. This is just awarding the bid.
Thank you.
The ways to go. We had to go back and I think change the scope of the bid process, or change some of the parts of it, so that slowed
Was
it down a
something
bit.
omitted out of it?
What's
Was
that?
there something omitted out of it?
No, if I could, they had provided an extra item that wasn't part of the scope that we then decided
What
we
was
didn't
that?
ask for. Like in extra meetings that we didn't really necessarily need.
Okay,
And we didn't ask for it, so we just went back to the original scope.
okay. Thank you.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2023-199, reports of the county executive for September. I move this resolution.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now we have,
That
thank
would be
you.
the end of the Board of Commissioners report.
Thank you, Commissioner Herrick. Reports of county officials, county executive.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I have about three things I wanted to comment on. First of all, good news, all of the paperwork has been completed on the acquisition of the Art Van facility or building out on Wilder Road, which will serve as the new home of our Bay County Department of Health Services. And we will take possession of the building after November 15th, I assume the next day or two. There's a short-term contract with a small business selling Halloween, I guess, some materials in there until then. But that building is in great shape, and I know a lot of you have seen it, and I think it'll serve very well the needs of our Bay County residents for several decades to come. And hopefully the RFP on the renovations to the building will be issued before the end of the year, hopefully. So we'll get that renovation process going, and we got as you know, a pretty good price on it, $3.2 million. And so it's a beautiful building for that price. So we finally had some great luck there. Also wanted to compliment Matt Beaver and the shelter staff on the recent success, or the success of the recent Empty the Shelter event. Total dogs and cats placed in loving homes was 30. Correct, ma'am?
Wow.
Yep. So, thank you. And then I did want to comment to the board about the young gentleman who addressed the situation at Central Dispatch. And I know Commissioner Benazak and I have talked, and the chair as well, in the past during the negotiations. The union that represents the Central Dispatch staff was asked if, for a $6,000 bonus, $2,000 a year for 3 years, if they would consider allowing under the contract the hiring of part-time staff to fill in for the vacant full-time staff. I talked with Ryan Gale recently, and he said, yeah, part of the problem, and it was addressed here by the young man who spoke, that even when you hire, it's 4 or 5 months minimum before, with all the training that's required before they're going to be able to complete that, that shifts a full complement of workers. So the union turned down the prospect of alleviating the overtime issue and the quality of life issue, and there's no question that if you're young and you're single and you have any kind of social life, you're not going to be wanting to put in the kind of hours that some of these staff are putting in. So we understand that, but at some point the board may want to open the negotiation again. I don't know legally if that's possible, and Tiffany and maybe Amber could address that, but just to see if there's been a change, because we care about the morale of all of the county staff, and they are very dedicated. It's a very stressful work, and we try to make sure that that's stressed to them, at the time of their employment, that they're essential workers. They have to work holidays, weekends, and they're going to be in a stressful environment depending on the number of incoming calls and the type of calls they're fielding. So just thought I would mention that. And I was wondering, Mr. Chair, if it would be appropriate to allow Ryan Gale to make a comment to the board on that situation, because I know the chair and Commissioner Benazak and some of the other commissioners have mentioned it as an issue. And we're doing everything we can to recruit top-notch talent. As we heard, not all of them are able to make it through. But I'm wondering if Ryan is back from his service in, is it okay to say Syria now?
They might be going back.
So he got debriefed. And,
he didn't solve the problem, though.
He was gone for a year, and his replacement, Brent Rubis, did very well during his time as interim director, but we're happy to have you back, Ryan, and maybe you could speak to some of the issues that you found upon your return, and also that you left before you headed to the Middle East.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, good to be back. Good afternoon. So, yeah, I am currently in the second day of my third week back at the center. So, kind of digging into a little bit of what was brought up earlier. I don't think it's any secret that we are low staff. Some of the statistics may be off a little bit, but we continue to be a responsive and professional organization to the public needs here. And that will not change no matter what rumors are going around. And I think that maybe a little bit of misconceptions are driving some of this. So I aim to educate our staff, and in fact, I have an all-staff meeting tomorrow where I plan to present the current state, where we need to be in the future, and the path to get there. So that will be kind of our shorter or mid-range strategic plan. But as Jim said, nobody walks through the door and matters immediately in terms of the overtime or the ability to actually pitch in at a level that makes a difference. So there is a long piece of investment from everybody, from training to other resources and opportunities for somebody else who might make it. The skills required, multitasking gets thrown around a lot. It really is a misnomer. It's the ability really for dispatch is to seamlessly move from one task to another, right? And a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people cannot stop one task and move quickly to that other task without that seamless transition, and then be able to move right back. And then sometimes keep an ear open and other things. It causes issues with really the way we traditionally work towards goals, right? We are taught to finish a task and then move on. So a lot of that is tough. And as Jim said, the work-life balance, it's definitely prevalent in today's society too. So people are moving from job to job to job. And, unfortunately, at an organization like this, we demand a standard that must be met. And that standard is met through our training, through our observations, through our analysis and critiquing before we will let that individual be on their own and operate as a dispatcher. So I appreciate the opportunity to address some of that. Thanks for welcoming me back.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome back, and hopefully we can redouble our efforts on trying to get full-time employees into those vacant positions, okay, Red?
Absolutely.
It's got to be our number one priority.
Thank you. And we have a lot of changes that we are making in both recruitment and retention that will be presented at that meeting tomorrow.
Okay,
Thank you. Did anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
John. Yeah. Any other comments? Come on. Mr. Barsha, you all set?
Yes, I'm done. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioners' comments. I think we're going to let Kathy speak just briefly about the convention that we were at. We'll have some of the other commissioners speak later on. Okay.
Thank you, Chairman. I took one of the workshops at the MAC conference, and it was called Walk a Mile, Mentoring for Success. And so this is participation in the mentoring program is 100% voluntary for the mentees and the mentors. So the mentees are, the mentors, are those who have shared or lived experience with incarceration and then reentry. And are now on the right track, and then they would be good role models. So what they're hoping to do is pair a mentor with a mentoree, and so that there'd be a positive model and to help develop pro-social and problem-solving skills, because they gave an illustration of someone that was had served their time in prison, and he was just, I'm not sure how many years, but he was just overwhelmed just to go to Walmart, and all he wanted was like some spices, and it was too much for him, so he was overwhelmed. So he called his mentor, and his mentor came right down there, and they shopped together. So, so that social skills and just mentally. And so there's a contact person is Tony Mills. Mills number 13, at michigan.gov. And the mentoring program is to reduce coming back to the system and to reduce drug and alcohol use and possibly relapse. So it just sounds like a really good program, Mentoring for Success. Walk a mile. Thank you.
Thank you. We have more to follow of the
Yeah.
conference. Any other commissioner comments? Unfinished business, new business, public input, second chance, miscellaneous, announcements.
Of course I haven't. I got to take your spot behind you because you always make it.
There you go.
Two announcements. One, the Garber tennis team is playing in the state finals, I believe, this weekend. As any tennis team in the area for a while. And the Bay City All Saints football team will be in the playoffs. Right now, there could be another team from the area in maybe after this weekend, but they're in now. So those two things, two big things. So Garber tennis, All Saints football, all good.
Sounds good. Any other announcements? We do have Operation Green Light. I don't know if Matt wants to, and we got the November 9th through the 11th.
The resource fair is the 9th at the community center again. And for animal control, or excuse me, animal services, we have the free vaccine clinic this Saturday. I don't think I announced this last meeting, but it's 1 to 5. We've never done it before, so it's free for all Bay County residents. You could do the rabies vaccine or a combo. That's a parvo and distemperament shot. So it's free to all Bay County residents again, and 1 to 5, and it's a great thing. We've never done it. We worked hard to get some people to donate them shots, so they're free for everybody.
Good. Cool. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Appointments 2023, we have a Bay County Veterans Affairs Committee. We have 1 4-year term. And Department on Aging Advisory Committee, 4 2-year terms for districts 1, 3, 5, and 7. And get with your people and see if they're interested in continuing or find somebody else. Closed session. Do we need a closed session? Thank you. A motion to adjourn is always in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
That's right. That's right. You're totally right.